There are two types of V8 engines, cross-plane and flat-plane crankshaft design. These two different kinds of crankshaft cause very different firing from each other. The cross-plane could be defined like an ideal for torque and daily usage, while the flat-plane one for high rev range and power. It also fires evenly between the banks, unlike the cross-plane having a smoother engine running. As it is not as common, we'll talk about some of those few that has come to this world. Ruf RGT-8. The Ruf RGT is basically a Porsche 911, only tuned by a different automaker. Yes, Ruf is a car manufacturer, and as one of the 911 versions since 2010, they have been producing the flat-plane V8 RGT-8. The engine was constructed to be as lightweight as possible, being 40 kg lighter than the flat 6. Ford Voodoo. The Shelby GT350 caused a revolution in the automotive business within the USA. The thing is, it is the first American car to feature a flat-plane crankshaft on an 8-cylinder engine, thanks to which the engine is able to rev higher. Combine this lightweight crankshaft with an over-squared engine design and you have a recipe for power. One more thing, it doesn't sound like a Ferrari because of unequal length exhaust headers. TVR AJP. In fear of discontinuation the Rover V8, TVR decided to develop a new power plant. It was meant for the Griffith and Chimera, but only appeared in the Cerbera. The engine had many things in common with race engines, including an overall low dry weight. By the way, its V-angle, unlike the majority of V8s, was 75 degrees. Lotus Type918. Although the Type918 engine is a part of the 4-cylinder 900 engine series, it is said to be designed from scratch. It has been the first and only V8 to be made purely by Lotus. Also, it was turbocharged only, and only used in the Esprit V8. Fed by a pair of Garrett turbos, it was capable of much more power, and possibly it is one of the few turbocharged flat-plane V8 as well. Porsche 918. The Porsche 918 Spyder, as a successor to the Carrera GT, obviously needed an engine worth to be proud of after the glorious race-inspired V10. They came up with a smaller, but similarly powerful V8 engine, revving all the way up to 9,150 RPM. Porsche even kept its bore and stroke dimensions a secret. Ferrari V8. Ferrari is the most popular brand to use the flat-plane crankshaft in their V8 engines. No production Ferrari ever had a cross-plane design, although they once developed such an engine for Lancia Thema 832. Also, these engines are often shared with Alfa Romeo and Maserati, but those are always using the cross-plane crank. In my opinion, the Ferrari 355 has the most beautiful sound of them all. McLaren M838T. McLaren is quite a young company as a production car manufacturer. Officially, McLaren Automotive was founded in 2010 with their first car being the ridiculously named MP412C. Ever since that car, their only engine is the 3.8-liter twin-turbo V8, which is an oversquared flat-plane engine. This McLaren V8 was sourced from a Nissan VHR35L twin-turbo LMP engine. Radical SR8. The engine in the Radical SR8 came from the Suzuki Hayabusa. The Hayabusa has a 1300cc engine, which was rebuilt and combined with its twin to create a flat-plane V8. This, as a small displacement engine, allows it to rev incredibly high, while it still has enough torque to be drivable from 3000 rpm. It was the fastest production car on Nurburgring, beaten only by the GT2 RS a few weeks ago. Cosport DFV. Sourced from a 4-cylinder race engine, the DFV was a 3-liter engine with 400 horsepower at the beginning. It was actively used for more than 2 decades, while its power was slowly growing over the years. The final versions were capable of over 500 horsepower at 11,000 rpm, of course, using the flat-plane crankshaft design. Ariel Atom 500. The Ariel Atom 500 is a unicorn which everybody knows about, but no one, or perhaps just a few people, have ever seen it. The Atom 500 is special in the way that they trashed the Honda engine in favor of the John Hartley V8. This engine was also sourced from the Hayabusa's heart, using the flat-plane crank. Synergy V8. The most interesting aspect of this engine is its weight. You get more than 360 horsepower from an engine that weighs less than 100 kilograms. It was developed using two 1200cc Kawasaki engines with the ZX12R heads. They share one flat-plane billet steel crankshaft and can turn at speed more than 11,000 rpm. Ferrari O56. As there is no production crossplane Ferrari, there is also no crossplane race car by Ferrari. The O56 engine is one of the many produced by this company as the most recent Formula 1 power unit. The flat-plane crankshaft is lighter, which is an essential thing when it comes to making a ton of power without forced induction.